So here we are in Central Texas, Zone 8, and it is a bright, sunshiny day, but that's deceptive. It's very cold. Our high today is 36. The winds finally calmed down. That big cold front blew through and just left us bright and sunny, but cold. So the reason I say all that, we are right in the middle of winter time. And every year there's a question that comes up as we start thinking about planting our garden. In fact, I've had this happen to myself as well, and I'll explain. So the question I get is that, okay, Jeff, this year I'm going to follow you on your channel and go exactly along at your pace and start my garden in the backyard and have these wonderful vegetables. But the question is, what if I get behind? What if my planting, something gets delayed, work gets busy for me, life kind of gets in the way, and I'm 5 or 6 weeks behind? I should have started planting at the end of March, and maybe I don't get it until late April or May. Is it over with? Is my chance of a spring garden finished? And the answer is no. And let me give you the perfect example of this. Is that a few years ago, before this farm was ever started, I used to live up in Zone 7, and I wanted to start. I was just trying out my backyard with some zucchini. Zucchini are easy to grow. There's something that you can start them off in little seed trays, transplant them out. And I had about 20 little plants, and I did not do it until June. And truthfully, in Zone 7, those probably should have been in the ground easily by the beginning of April. But I didn't get them in the ground till probably the end of June. And I'll tell you, they took off, really accelerated. They had lots of sunlight. It was summertime. I had a little drip hose on them, little cheap hose where I gave them water every 2 or 3 days. I put down some compost. You cannot believe on 2 rows, 20 plants, how much zucchini I had within just a few weeks. So they literally caught up. And that's the thing to remember. Yes, you can get past a point with some plants where you've gone right past that season. A lot of the greens that require a little bit cooler weather of the spring, lettuces, spinach, chard, things like that. You can be a little late with them, but there's things like cucumbers, tomatoes, and even some of the greens, not to discourage you. You can start late with those. So for some reason, life gets in the way, you're 5 or 6 weeks behind, don't worry about it. Go ahead and start your plants, get your seed trays, get everything, go ahead and plant them. As I always say, you could take your seed trays, put them on a back porch or put them close to a window. As soon as they start to sprout and get a decent size within a few weeks, you want to get them in the ground. Because I will say, if you're growing something next to a window sill, they tend to get a little leggy, they get spindly, so you want to get them out in the ground soon. If you have an enclosed back porch, or if you are lucky enough to have uh, a little polytunnel or something where you can grow outside, then you're set. So back to my original question, can you get behind and be too late? And a lot of times the answer is no. Those plants will catch up, and the growing actually accelerates once you get to those warmer times of the year. So I hope that helps. So stick with us on this channel this year, because we're literally going to start, as we start to put our compost down, start our seedlings here in about 5 6 weeks. We're going to take you along on that journey with us so you can follow right along. Start your small back garden. You certainly are not going to be planting on the scale that we are unless you're a market gardener yourself. So for you, it's going to be much simpler. It's going to be easier. It's going to be quicker. Hoeing, taking care of weeds, literally can almost be done by hand on really small gardens. If it's a bigger garden, you can get a little wire weeder. We'll talk more about wire weeders as we get closer to that season. So blessings over you, your family, your garden. Check us out. We got other videos we know you're going to like. We have hundreds of them already on this channel. One over here that YouTube will suggest, and one over here that's going to be one of our latest. Take care from Whirlwind Family Farm. Talk to you soon.